I think that dancehall music has become the most popular it has ever been in years. There was a peak in it during the time when I and Sean Paul and the whole Diwali rhythm and Wayne Wonder and Muffin Man, that whole era. And then it just kind of went. And then now it's back, but it's what I've fought for years upon years upon years, which is bringing dancehall music to the mainstream, has now happened. And it is now the norm. Dancehall is now the sound of mainstream radio. That's good, except you have a lack of Jamaican artists who are on the mainstream on these beats. We can't blame anybody else but ourselves for that, to be honest with you. Again, the only two other artists that you're seeing on the charts is myself and Sean. So, you know, I be running the jokes. I make jokes with like Alkaline or Popcorn. I say, come on, man, y'all can't let the old man be up here. Y'all need to step it up, you know. But I think it will happen. I mean, you're seeing the big problem that happened to these dancehall artists is the same thing that has happened to me when I started. I was not the guy that the record company put millions of dollars into to blow up. I was not the guy that got budgets. They was like, oh, Shaggy, well, we're not going to put $5 million behind this guy. You know, Coca-Cola ain't going to take me and put a campaign behind me. So he's dancehall. He's a music of homophobia and guns and violence. No, we're Coca-Cola. We're a family brand. You know what I mean? That's how it thinks. And that's how these board of these record executives, they're going to think. It's like, you know, am I going to throw this money into dancehall? Which, you know. And so, but they'll throw the money in if the pop people do this dancehall money. You know what I'm saying? So you're finding the artists that are coming out of Jamaica that are a little bit more rough on the edges, you know what I mean? A little bit more controversial, a little bit more real, are the ones that they're scared of putting that money in because they think that they're firecrackers. They think that these guys are not going to go the full way. It's all about you investing your money in a horse that's going to actually run the race, or a horse that is not even going to jump out the gate. You know what I'm saying? And history of a lot of dancehall artists in Jamaica is that, you know, they're people put money on them and they'll probably not work. You know, a guy might not want to go do interviews and sit down and do a line of interviews from early in the morning from the radio show all the way down, and then go do the club at night and then jump on a plane and do it all over again. Guys be like, yo, yeah, you know, tell him, say, come check it, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna find record executives looking at it from that perspective, saying, hey, am I gonna invest in these artists? But the true stars, which I think these guys are the true star, because there's a realness when you're an artist that is born out of the ghettos and come from the hood. That comes up through the music, and the music becomes real, and it starts to catch fire and catch a real audience. Especially in today's, you can't package things today because the internet is there. Kids are going to find it. You know, you have radio stations who think that they are the power. They have a power of a certain amount, because these kids aren't really listening radio. They're listening their phones. They're on YouTube. They're, you know what I'm saying, and they're discovering these artists. And these artists, how you could have songs like people like Rob Banks or any of these other guys who have great followers and never been played on radio ever. You know what I mean? That shows you that these kids are looking elsewhere to get this kind of information and see their artists. And so Popcorn is one of those guys that was an internet sensation, despite he was making records and blew up. But the kids found out about him and his vibe and his music on there, and Drake, of course, co-signed it, which gave him a platform. Alkaline, one of the biggest successes out of Jamaica. I call him right now, he's like the Bieber of Jamaica. You know what I mean? This guy can't even walk on the streets of, you know, and you're seeing this happen. He's in Dubai right now. And it's blowing up on him just putting records out that surface on the internet. You know what I mean? Mainstream radio isn't playing any of this, but this guy will pack any venue right now. You know what I mean? This young lady, Shensia, who's got a big controversy now in Jamaica. You know what I mean? That controversy is blowing up to this big thing. Why? And she's got one song. Because there's a realness that comes from her, from being in the streets. you know what I mean, and having this X factor, so to speak, this thing that lowers your interest into that person. You know what I'm saying? So it will make its way up. And, you know, Conscience is another person that I think is promising. You know what I mean? They will make their way up. It's just their journey will be a little longer because they got to convince the gatekeepers to say, oh shit, let's go with this. Oh shit, this is hot. You know what I'm saying?